Everyone, so I have Carrie with me today, and she is going to share her testimonial with you. And
My testimonial, as I was telling Sharon just a few minutes ago, I got baptized with a new friend of mine this morning at 8 o'clock as a result of being here at this event, the Dream event in Auburn. And my backstory is, when I was 8 years old, I was baptized. I remember it vividly. And at this time of my life, God has moved very dramatically through. My daughter died 10, 11 years ago. He started showing up in my life then, and then 5 years ago I got really sick with cancer. My daughter died from cancer. So I had cancer as well, and here I am 5 years later, and it was just time. It was time to just say, God, I hear you, I see you, you're in my life, I'm rededicating my life to you. Let's do the rest of this together. I'm in. I'm all in.
what about any miracles that you can share?
Well, something that I was telling my friend Jen that I went to a conference in Bend, Oregon a few years ago that I found out about on Elijah Streams, a podcast that is run by Steve Schultz, and he has a bunch of prophets and patriots on there, and he interviews them. And I had found out about this conference taking place in Bend, Oregon, which was a drivable distance for me, so I attended. And part of the reason I went there is because Nathan French was going to be there and Kat Kerr were going to be there. For any of you who know who they are prophets who are regularly featured on Elijah Streams and Elijah List website. So I wanted to meet them. I just wanted to hear from them personally, so I went. And the thing with Kat Kerr is she talks a lot about heaven. And at the end of the event, when there were people lined up to talk to her individually, one-on-one, I was in line, waited my turn, and when I got my turn to talk to her, I asked her about my daughter, who had died when she was 28 years old after going through 3 years of cancer treatment. So I didn't know if Kat was going to have any word of knowledge for me or anything. I just asked her about my daughter, and she said she wanted to confirm she died when she was 28. I said, yeah, she was 28 when she died. She said she just paused for a minute and looked kind of like around. She kind of sees, she's a seer, she sees in the spirit world. And then she said to me, she looked me in the face and said, your daughter had an appointment in heaven she couldn't miss. There was something she had to do for God.
Oh, wow.
And just in that instant, just peace came over me, over that whole thing. Because I don't know, anyone out there who's a parent and you lose a child, it's a pretty awful thing to go through, and there you question everything about everything you did or didn't do. And so I had a lot of that going on, a lot of angst, and so it just gave me instant peace. And I consider that a miracle, that God had me, inspired me, and Holy Spirit inspired me to go to that event so I could get that word of knowledge from Kat Kerr about my daughter. I'd say it would be the biggest miracle of my life, is that information.
That's an amazing story. Thank you so much for sharing. Is there anything else you want to add?
Welcome. Well, I just want to say, when I was diagnosed with myself having cancer, I went through everything 5 years ago. Took 2 months to go through all the treatment. Not a lengthy amount of time, but enough to, to be knocked down. And it was at that time when I got that diagnosis, I was so afraid because of everything I went through with my daughter. I was just full of fear. And God stepped into my heart, and I heard him. He spoke a word directly to me, and he's been talking to me ever since. And I've gone to heaven. I can't tell you how many times I've gone to heaven.
Wow.
And it's all centered around just being loved on, and the unconditional grace and mercy and acceptance of God. He knows that's what I needed. And so that's what he's providing. And that led me to wanting to get baptized. Just kind of, again, just to say, yeah, I agree with everything you've done in my life, and I'm in. I'm all in.
What did God say to you?
He said, because I was so afraid, he said, do not be afraid. There's nothing to fear. I have always been with you. I have never left you. nothing can harm you, and this is for your training. And I pondered that and he spoke that to me 5 years ago, and I kept thinking, training for what? What does that mean? What does that mean? And what I think at this point is it just means developing a relationship with him that I've heard about, I've known about, but never really had a deep relationship with him. I think that's what for me, that's what it's all about.
That's beautiful. I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, and he got me through everything, kept me alive. I wasn't supposed to make it through a 5-hour surgery. Doctor said I wouldn't wake up. I woke up. I'm 5 years out. All my tests have been negative. Everything's been good. And
what type of cancer?
I had cervical cancer, and so it was mostly radiation treatment. So I'm dealing with the radiation, which we call radiation fallout. I am still believing in God to heal all of that, and those areas have gotten better. They have gotten better.
It's amazing what you can do.
It is truly incredible.
So miraculous if you believe. Yeah. That's my struggle is, I believe, oh, I don't believe.
That is the path we all have. I think God lets us go through those things so that he points out, this is the area, this is the part of your life where you need to really reach out. Just your regular everyday thing, whatever's going on.
Yeah.
He wants to be involved.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome, Sharon.
That was beautiful.